trying to prepare these guys for life.
Welcome to our first show of New Orleans High School basketball with Coach Griffith.
All right, glad to be
doing,
here.
Coach?
Hey, I'm proud. Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I'm sitting back here now that they're working.
Let me ask you this, Coach. Tell me a few things of what you're trying to do to Dillard basketball.
Well, to bring it back to the glory, you want to get it back to the outside pitching. You want to get it back to what Dillard basketball was. Now, that's going to be a whole new deal because, see, people don't realize had to be like 1970, early 60s, 70s. Shoot, Dillard basketball. Dillard had in the 70s, 1970, Dillard had a 7-foot center, George Johnson, that actually played for the Golden State Warriors. Played with Rick Barry. They had a 7-foot center, 6'10" forward, a guy by the name of Taylor. They had another 6'10" forward, a guy by the name of Taylor. They had John Chaney's brother who was here at 6'5", and then they had another kid that was close to 6'5". That they started at Dillard University. And the movement, everybody wanted to go pro. So, things change and all this. But the black universities, they started to lose. See, one time black players in the South couldn't go nowhere else but the black schools. Shoot, one time, heck, Jackson State had the Short brothers, they had Al Smith, they had humongous teams. Alcorn had a great team. Southern University had the folks on Butterbean Bob Love that played for Chicago Bulls from Southern. Before there was a Michael Jordan, it was a Butterbean Bob Love. So, you got all these things that were going on in the past. What happened? Nobody wants an education now. See, at one time when you were growing up, folks said the most important thing you got to do is get an education. And a title actually meant something. When I say a title, parent, child, teacher, student. There were roles for these people. And the parent disciplined the child. And parents taught their children how to behave. Now, your parents couldn't teach you a lot of the things in school because they never got through school. They had to go to work, they had to support the family, and education wasn't afforded to them. But they wanted their children to be better than they were. So, like, my mother never finished high school, but she wanted us to be better. So what my mother did, my mother used to make you sit down and do your homework. See, if you scratched out, you'd be on the last word on the report you're doing. You scratch out, you got to redo that. My mother got me, I was in 12th grade. I'm taking advanced calculus. 12th grade, honor student taking calculus. I'm doing calculus. My mother looked at it, what is that? I said, this is math. This is calculus, it's kind of math. Let me see that. And she picked the paper up, looked at it. And it was straight up, that ain't right. What you mean that ain't right? I've been working my tail off to get that. I know that's. So, being the parent, being the child, just like you back in them days, shoot, she gave it back to me. Ain't right. You never see the paper, I get back to work. Because she wasn't gonna let me not get back to work. I get back to work, so I do the work. I turn the work in the next day. She said, this is pretty good. And he loads over it and he checks it. I don't know what I got, but I've done my homework. He says pretty good. I'm happy as all I've done. My mom made me redo this. I graduated from high school. I go to college. I graduate from college. I go get my master's. I graduate from Tulane University with my master's. I'm working. 9 to 5. I'm stroking, I'm using my education to do work, supporting the family. My mother called me up and says, you got to come home. What's the matter? What's going on? I need you to come home. She mean, you need me to come home? Yeah, well, you ain't got to come till like the 15th of May. Well, it just so happened, we was getting out, in St. Aug, you got out of school early. In fact, I was at Jesuit. We got out of school, school that year in here early because it get hot. So shoot, so now we changed our vacation plans. Me and the family changed our vacation plan, as opposed to in June, we got to go, I don't know what's the matter with this one. Lord knows what's going on. But I got to go home because Mama said, come home. I get home, and the big deal is, she want me to be there to watch her get her GED. She done gone back to school at 50 or 60 years of age to get a GED, her high school GED. Now, being the child I am, I'm vindictive. I ain't, it's not that I ain't proud that she went back to get a GED. I'm mad as hell because of all this homework I had to redo, and now I know she didn't know what she was talking about.
Coach, give me some things to look for your 2012 and 13 Dillard team.
Well, you can look for us to be academically qualified.
Okay.
Because we done study off 5 days a week.
Okay.
And I'll be sitting there with them. So we be in study hall, they getting that done. We're changing the culture.
Okay.
So, we got to get them to understand that basketball, the title of student athlete. And there's a reason they ain't put it in alphabetical order. Student first, athlete. So the student part, athletics is going to help you in the student part with the discipline, the learning process. So when you finish playing basketball, the discipline, the cooperation, communication, the ability to stick to a task, the discipline of the whole thing will carry over into life. See, if you don't fear an obstacle and you go prepare and address that obstacle, that's what you do every day in the business world. You prepare to address an obstacle. You also prepare to take advantage of whatever opportunities present themselves. So we try to tell guys all the time. Guys come to me and well, I play basketball, but I'm a point guard. I say, no, you play basketball. Well, I can't play a two. I can only play the point. Well, why would you get a job you don't know everything about the job? If you get a job, the best thing to do when you go on the job is learn how to do it all. If you learn how to do it all, it don't make no difference if you're absent or missing. You can maintain, you add value to yourself, being able to do whatever you do on the job. So you try to get them to understand, be able to handle the whole process. Prepare yourself to take advantage of whatever opportunities present themselves. At St. Aug, I used to tell the guys, all the seniors, coach say, give me 5 guys. Get the rest of the jokers out there. Get out there first. Let the coach put you back. The joker say, give me a son. You holler fight for you. 6-foot guard, going out there. Get your little butt on back up. She's out there. Eventually, the coach can be like, why did he keep running out here? Let me see what he can do. This joker, he think he can play a 4 or 5. Let me watch him go get his little butt wild out here. Then you get out there and compete, but you've been prepared to play a 4 spot, or how to play a 4, how to take in front people, how to get around them, how to do. You have been prepared to go in those situations. So when you're prepared to go in those situations, you look up, and coach looks up. Well, shoot, hey, he ain't bad at a 4. He ain't but 6 feet tall, but like, shoot, he ain't bad at a 4. No, shoot, now he play guard. He that tough. Come on up and play guard. Let me see what you can do. Now the things that we done drilled into you, and taught you how to take and play the game, improve your basketball IQ. Now you out there doing what you're supposed to be doing. But you've been prepared. Now, high school is a different world. High school, you're preparing them. They still get this safety net. It's a big safety net in high school. You go to college, big safety net. But the net gets smaller. When you get to college, you're preparing and you're doing all this preparation. And when you walk that tight wire, now when you graduate, the safety net is gone. So you got to be able to stick to the task, be able to do what you're supposed to be, prepared to take advantage of your opportunities when they present themselves.
So, Coach, when you're recruiting an athlete, what are some of the things you look at?
When I go in and talk to an athlete, you go out and you look at a basketball player. You go out and sit down in the gym and watch him play. Look at his character. When I was at Southern back in the 80s, me and John Thompson was in Houston recruiting the same kid from Yates High School. And the kid from Yates, he was a pretty good ball player, about 6'5", 6'6", playing. I mean, he could play. The Joker give him the referees hell. He give him his coach hell. He arguing and fussing about everything. John Thompson, you got a pen? I'm gonna write that kid's name down. And I'm like, yeah, you know. Well, John Thompson, 6'10", like damn near 300 pounds. I figured, well, John figured he can straighten him out. John told me, well, no, I'm writing his name down so I don't recruit him by mistake. You look for character in a kid. Is he coachable? When I first talked to a kid comes up and coach, I played basketball. What's the last book you read? Huh? What's the last book you read? I ain't read one. Then you got some academic problems. Because see, we trying to get you in college, you got to read some books. And you don't practice reading books.
Coach, what is the difference from coaching college and high school?
Size of the boards. Basically just the size. But you're still trying to teach the same lesson. But, in high school, I can take and I can hold on to you a little bit better. I can hold on to you a little bit better. Because somebody put you in the high school, you can't hide. And if you want to play basketball, then, okay, you want to play, this is what you got to do. You don't do this, you can't play. And, some of my better ball players had to learn the hard way. See, a lot of people, I had Kerry Killers. I took Kerry Killers economics. A lot of folks, Kerry tape. He failed my class first quarter. And but I played. No, you don't play no basketball in his economics class with me.
Right.
Quantas White, that boy that almost died, he had to sit out a quarter because he failed the first one. Oh, he can't play. What? And shit, back in and work.
I have to ask, Coach. I have to ask this question. How do you feel about the hire with your former player, Mitchell Johnson? With me looking at it, I thought it was a great hire. And I know he come from a disciplined program, having played for you. That's saying all.
You ever been say I'm old, I got a little age on me. Mm-hmm. And see, I ain't, like everybody tell you, I had 2 daughters. And about 5,000 sons in my duration at St. Augustine. Every time one of those guys is taking a step forward and doing something positive and moving on, I'm the proudest joke in the room. And you got to believe now, Mitchell Johnson, see, I make you laugh about Mitchell. Mitchell, next time you see Mitchell, ask him about the midget drummer. Just ask him about the midget drummer. but I'm proud I'm proud as I can be about it.
Okay. I appreciate your time, Coach. The legendary, in my words, Coach Griffith. I appreciate it.
Legend. I keep stroking.
He gonna say that. New Orleans High School basketball. I appreciate your time, Coach.
Well, thank you.
All right.